to Hayles World, and in my hands I've got the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra and the iPhone 12 Pro Max. These are both great flagships in the same price range, so to start off the comparison, let's take a look at these cameras. On both the S21 Ultra and 12 Pro Max, the camera setups are pretty intense. As you can see, they both have a bunch of different cameras, a bunch of different sensors, and these are of course all used for different things. The more I used both these phones, the more I realized just how great both the camera setups are. The night mode is definitely superior on the 12 Pro Max, as well as most other pictures like portrait mode, but when filming video, I found a couple of issues with the iPhone, especially with lighting. In my opinion, the 12 Pro Max definitely has the upper hand because it takes some great pics, but the S21 Ultra kills it when taking videos. So you know what? I think these camera setups are pretty much equal to one another. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love customizing my home screen with different widgets, app looks, and one of these devices definitely have the upper hand. So when it comes to home screen widgets, iPhone recently added the feature, but Samsung have had this for years, and not only that, they also have so many different ones to choose from. Then you can select different themes for both iPhone and Samsung, but iPhone's is honestly not that great because every time it opens the shortcut app and then the application, which is kind of frustrating. But with Samsung, that's not the case at all, so iPhone definitely has some catching up there. Then I also love with the S21 Ultra, you can customize the background call screen, which is so awesome, but on iPhone it's pretty standard. The same goes for the lock screen, although you can use a live wallpaper on the iPhone. On the S21 Ultra, you can use practically any picture or video, and it also has lock screen widgets, which is super nifty. At the end of the day, I would definitely say customization goes to Samsung, because not only have they been doing it for years, but they also do it so well. Now, because the Apple ecosystem is so good, it's really hard to ignore, but Samsung is definitely strengthening theirs and it's starting to show. A great example of this is on iPhone. If you click the share button, you'll see this airdrop icon, and from here you can basically airdrop any file to another Apple device nearby. And with Samsung, they've now got a similar thing called Nearby Share, where if you click on that, you'll be able to see other Samsung devices nearby, and just like iPhone, be able to share pictures, files, documents, you name it, as easily as that. They also both have a similar audio handoff feature with their buds, where if you use another device, the audio will automatically switch over without having to touch anything. The crazy thing I find with Apple is just how well their products are able to work with one another and seamlessly integrate, whereas with Samsung, they're just not quite there yet. However, they are starting to integrate more things like Google Assistant. The reality is if you already have a Mac or an iPad, then iPhone is definitely hands down the best option for you, because their ecosystem is so seamless and just works. But if you're not yet tied into an ecosystem and you enjoy services like Android or Google, then Samsung is definitely the next best thing to consider. But overall, Apple takes this one, for sure. What's really cool about both these phones is just how different and unique they are to one another, especially when it comes to their accessories. So with the release of the S21 Ultra, Samsung announced the ability to use the S Pen on the new Ultra device and basically do much the same as you would on a Note, except now you're doing it on the Ultra. This is honestly a feature and accessory I really wish Apple would include. They already have the Apple Pencil, so to do that I don't think would be a big stretch. So Samsung accessories kind of rock. But on the other hand, with the iPhone 12, Apple introduced MagSafe, which although just kind of seems like a premium way of wireless charging, it's still pretty amazing because of all the accessories that come with this MagSafe feature. At the end of the day, these accessories and features are pretty unique to both these devices, and it just depends on what you prefer, so they both get a point for this one. So at a glance, just looking at these displays, you'd be really surprised because the iPhone 12 Pro Max does have a pretty good looking display, but on paper, the Samsung S21 Ultra just kills it. At a quick glance, you'd say there's not really that much of a difference between both these displays, but not only does the S21 Ultra have a bigger display, it also has a higher pixel density and a 120Hz refresh rate compared to Apple's 60Hz. Here is a great way to see just what a difference that refresh rate makes. The iPhone on the right is super sticky, whereas the Samsung is buttery smooth. Another thing you'll notice is iPhone still has thick bezels and a massive notch, so Samsung definitely gets this point. Now, both these phones, without a doubt, unfortunately heat up when shooting 4K or 8K video, or in fact, just any type of heavy camera usage. It's kind of annoying. To be honest, it's kind of crazy to me just how much both these flagship phones heat up when using the camera system. At first I thought I was running these phones just a bit too much through their paces, but over time, using both these devices, without a doubt, every single time you use the camera, whether you're filming in 4K, 8K, or just using it quite a lot, they definitely both heat up, but I will just say that Samsung's for some reason is so much hotter, so iPhone does take this point, but only by a margin. Now, obviously, the battery is super important when comparing both these phones, and even though the 12 Pro Max has a much smaller battery than the S21 Ultra, in reality, both these phones will get you through the day just fine. In comparison, the S21 Ultra definitely does have a bigger battery than the iPhone, but with iPhone's really good battery safety technology, you really do get a ton of on-screen time, and I am a heavy phone user, guys. So this point goes to both for some great batteries. Onto the look and design of both these flagships, and I gotta say, I actually love the look of both these phones quite a lot. The iPhone is a bit thicker and also much heavier than the Samsung, but one thing I love that both companies did was create a matte kind of finish. I do like the way the iPhone's finish catches the light differently compared to Samsung, where it is just totally matte black, but still, the fact that it's matte and doesn't pick up a million fingerprints is a huge plus in my books. Then also keep in mind, depending on your personal preference, the iPhone has a lot more flat, squared off finish compared to the Samsung with a more rounded off edge. But overall, these two both get a big thumbs up for the look and design. So if you're like me and you enjoy listening to a lot of music throughout the day, then you are definitely going to want to know which one of these two sounds better. Interestingly, when I was testing out these phones and listening to music, watching media, Samsung is definitely a lot louder, but iPhone took the cake for this one because the sound quality that comes out the iPhone 12 Pro Max is unreal. So although the Samsung seems louder, the quality is just totally unmatched when it comes to the iPhone. It has a lot more presence, bass, and depth. It's so good. And the crazy part is when I walk around with my iPhone, people even notice how good the sound quality is. So this one definitely goes to the 12 Pro Max. Then, as small as it may seem, the size of these phones is actually quite important. The Ultra is bigger overall, but it has a much more narrow body than the iPhone, which makes it more comfortable to hold in your hand than the iPhone. Here is a quick look at them side by side, and you'll notice the iPhone being a lot wider, but the Samsung being a lot longer. And this makes quite a big difference because reaching applications on the far left of your screen using your thumb is so much easier on the Ultra. So this point goes to Samsung. So to wrap it up, the 12 Pro Max and the S21 Ultra are both amazing flagships, but because I use an iMac at home, I'm probably going to stick to the iPhone. This is a pretty hard choice though. Let me know down in the comment section which you would choose. But if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, or you can check out some of my other videos right over here. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Toodles!